السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Masjid Carpark podcast, episode 69.
Walaikum salam.
Wow, it's warm in here.
Yeah, we're getting the ACs.
It is so warm in here.
Inshallah, on Saturday, some brothers are coming
Inshallah.
doing the ACs, and inshallah, we'll, these are the sacrifices that have to be made.
Oh, wow. Taking one for the team.
Yeah, it's like an oven in here. And, like these sisters came to do cleaning today, and I just came in here just to check on them. They needed anything, and I felt sorry for them.
Was it that hot? Was it hotter than this?
They looked like they've been like it was a sauna,
Wow.
It was really bad.
As good as the sauna at your house?
Yeah, well, so I moved to a rental and I've got a jacuzzi and a sauna. It is the most. This is such a DIY.
You got a steam room as well, right?
It's a steam room, yeah. It's jacuzzi and a steam room, but it's such a DIY. Like it was not even advertised as part of the house, so it's not like an extra.
DIY, you can't.
Yeah. But my son's a tradie, so he came and had a look and make sure there's power. Alhamdulillah, electricity, everything's there.
You used it? You sent me a pic?
No, just cleaned it, and then the whole house is DIY. It's some Italian guy. So today I had the gas guy come to do the gas checks, whatever, and he found a leak somewhere. So now I've got no gas.
In the house?
Not in the house. Somewhere there's a gas leak. He said it's not to do with appliances. So there's no hot water, no heating, cooling, whatever.
So where are you guys staying?
Staying there.
Old
Got the
school.
microwave.
Wow.
In cold shower. Well, there's just for today. Hopefully, within the 48 hours, 72 hours, inshallah, will be fixed. If not, emergency kettle or whatever. If not, just go to my mom's place.
How crazy is it the fact that you said you haven't got gas, and I'm like, what's going on? Are you okay? Are you coping?
Yeah, we're coping. Alhamdulillah.
First world problems.
Yeah. Then we got electric appliances and so forth, so
Yeah.
you can boil water and whatnot. But the funny thing is because the gas guy's there, so then we're just going through like. He goes definitely was an Italian because he's Italian. The gas inspector, whatever it is.
Why is it different?
Gas because he explained to me the specific way the barbecue was built, like a brick barbecue.
Yeah.
And I thought, what's that other plate thing that's on the side? So you got the 3 burners, and one of the burners got rocks in it to distribute the heat or whatever.
Yeah.
Then and explained to me, this is like a wok burner, right?
Okay.
So it's like a large burner that is cooking for like drums or like pasta sauce or something. He said, he goes, we used to have the same thing. If we had like 4 of them like running, like there was like a little factory, like when they do their tomato sauces, they're cooking like, hundreds of kilos or whatever of tomato. So he explained to me, what this is. He goes, this is definitely an Italian that built this. He goes, exactly my father and uncles and so forth, they would be sitting around and they would have one burner over there, one over there, one over there. And anyway, those are all good. He said, I might have to disconnect the barbecue. So it's like a proper brick barbecue. It's really nice.
Oh, that's a bit sad.
Yeah, no. He said that it should be okay. But then he said that there's a leak somewhere else. And it's a big one. And then I'm watching him. He goes, all right, watch this. So he closes all the appliances. Then he says that he blows on the pipe, on the actual pipe with his mouth.
Yeah.
And so builds up pressure. And then he just watch the device. Right, because it's closed here, so that means the pressure is being released somewhere else.
Yeah, okay.
So he said, I don't know where it's been released. I can't detect it anywhere. So the next step is that he goes back to the landlord, and the real estate agent, landlord. He's going to have a fit because it's an expensive job.
Gonna have a fit.
And then he goes, now the bidding war has started with the gas plumbers, because a landlord cannot for 3 days straight. Like he goes, you got like triple whammy: no hot water, no gas for cooking, and no heating / cooling because the heater's a thing. So he said because it's a triple whammy, like that's like huge against the rental tenancy agreement.
Oh, okay.
So now like it's first the price is up, and then like the immediateness and the penalties that can come if you don't do it within 72.
Up?
There's a bidding war now, like they're fighting over it, like sort of between.
Which plumber's going to do it?
Yeah.
Because it's such a big job.
Yeah. So, and they're all trying to undercut each other as well, and $50 a year, 20. Anyway, whatever's happening, and he said just chill out. But anyway, that's so next 3 days,
That landlord is going
roughing it.
No gas.
Yeah.
The landlord's going to be cursing.
Yeah. Like you realize it's a simple thing. You know, I don't know if you remember, I think it was the gas thing that happened in Melbourne just like 25,
ages ago.
30, the 90s anyway. And that when that plant exploded, people didn't know how to.
Man.
So people were like heating water in kettles. I think we might have mentioned this before. They used to heat in kettle
And bath.
and then they poured it from the kettle because they don't know what to do and they burnt their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened in Melbourne. And so there was no gas in Melbourne like at one point.
There was a lot of ambulance call-outs.
Yeah, and people didn't know what to do. So you know what I mean, like
First world, they are genuinely first world problems.
they are the crypto spiridium thing in Sydney, where there was a dog that fell into the reservoir, and so they were telling everybody in Sydney to boil the water because it might have some disease in it. One dog.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like the whole thing, and somebody was an Australian convert. He was drinking like Islam, and he was drinking like the water. He said no, because I've been like to a certain country. I won't mention. Let's not mention the country, but he goes, I mentioned that country because it can't be worse than that.
Is this the country that's just famous right now everywhere?
Yeah, Twitter is just a buzz with. Anyway, like let's not go into it. It's kind of let's say unsavory sanitary conditions. That's
It's nuts.
Yeah, and it's become a meme and mockery of the internet. I don't know what's going on.
The crazy thing is though, the intelligence or so-called intelligence of people, and then they do crazy stuff like this.
What do you mean, like the uncleanness or
just say uncleanliness or
I mean, you see videos of astaghfirullah azim even in like Western countries. Like I've seen videos ages ago, like guy urinating into the bread maker, the machine that needs a dough. Like what are human beings doing? Sorry to gross you out if you're eating, but
is this at a factory?
Not factory, like a bakery, right? Like think about it, like people
made me question every piece of
Well, after you see it, we are, our teachers always advise us never to eat out.
Wow.
He said like,
your teachers advise you this?
This is normal practice in madrasas, ulama, in Arab world and so forth. They consider it like, it's not considered from muru'ah, like from good, Islamically being classy. I don't know how else to put it, but
good character?
Like good character or nobility from sharaf that
right?
A person goes, Arabs as well have this and non-Arabs have this as well. In our part of the world, they have it. They discourage general, hanging around restaurants and
wow.
Sometimes we need to, but
speaking of restaurants, how good was that one we went to last week?
Sorry?
How good was the one we went to last week, the Monday one?
The Monday one was unusual.
It was like, so we went to this place. It looks like you're walking into, the best way I can put it in Urdu / Hindi, whatever, is a shadi khana.
Yeah. Like, I think that's what it's for. That's what they do.
Yeah, but
they've got the whole setup for it.
They've tapped into the mother country, bro.
Yeah. It's like you're stepping out of Australia. It's a very unusual
Even
setup.
the way the tables are set up.
Yeah.
Everything. It's the mothership.
It feels wholesale. It doesn't feel.
It's very wholesale.
It's not very curated. It's not a curated.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. It's tasty.
The chicken was good.
Yeah. Mashallah.
And slaughtered.
Yeah. So
the lamb was good.
Yeah, it was good. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
I'm just hungry now.
Huh?
Maybe we need to go somewhere.
Yeah. Your place is on the way. Inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
What do you want to eat, bro?
Invite myself to your place.
Yeah, anytime, brother. Anytime.
Alhamdulillah. What else happened? There was floods. There was rain in Victoria.
That
floods.
rain didn't stop for like 4 days.
It's like 40s in the west coast, and Australia is just so big for people who might not realize that the temperature level differences that we have.
Wait, what he means is for all of our overseas subscribers, right? All those millions of overseas subscribers.
We can see you coming. You'll find out next week, inshallah.
Wow, you went there.
Yeah, please stay tuned.
You went there,
but so like it's a big country, so 4,000 kilometers from me. So here, like it's like just continuous rain for whatever reason, El Nino, La Nina, whatever it is. And then over there, it's like it's 40 degrees, 45 degrees, mid 40s almost.
Yeah, well, my brother-in-law just came back from Sydney via the Great Ocean Road.
No,
they got flooded out.
Great Ocean Road is all the way.
No, the other side. So they got flooded out.
Yeah,
completely flooded. Like I saw my car today.
Yeah, Shepparton, Seymour, all those places. Yeah.
When it floods, it floods, man.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not much happening here in Australia.
There's not much of note
Yeah.
per se. A lot of stuff overseas.
Obviously in the Middle East and
It's just not stopping. Everyone's desensitized to that now.
yeah, it's sort of become.
People have just
Is that what
become
they're hoping, or
It is.
Yeah.
You just keep pushing it and pushing, because if they'd done something within the first 2, 3, 4 weeks, then it would have been there's a result. But
Yeah.
now it's just wearing people down.
Yeah.
But hats off to those guys that are still protesting, still
Yeah.
turning out in droves, man.
Yeah, in UK,
Yeah, thousands.
they're blocking
Melbourne.
the weapons manufacturers who are sending weapons there, and Australian government as well at different levels. It's been
Yeah.
raised. The issue's been raised everywhere. Like it's still going. Like the South Africans, Allah guide them.
I
That they at the ICC
And like help them.
international court, they raised it up as a criminal case against
And then you got the Houthis.
the Houthis in Yemen. Yeah,
But you know they've made it look like that the Houthis in Yemen are like just these massive terrorists. All they're asking for is just give them a ceasefire, let them get aid, we'll stop.
yeah. Yeah, it's too
Literally.
much. That's too much to ask.
Literally.
One of the things in the Twitter sphere and online sort of Muslim things, there's ugly things going on in the middle of this, which is Muslims attacking each other. There's like just for those who are unfamiliar, I think you guys are probably you're familiar with this, but there's like various categories of people. So you've got like a general, you could say Salafi type thing, and among them there are subgroups.
Most people are not familiar with this.
Salafis?
No, what you're
Yeah.
going.
So what's
you
and
need to
so
be
yeah.
aware.
So the attacks are happening between different du'at. So mashallah, like individually they do
Du'at,
different.
what is du'at?
Da'is?
Da'is, okay.
Yeah, you are da'i, mashallah.
Allah.
So the
Akbar. I got
da'is,
promoted just then, guys.
da'is like who are very good in debating with non-Muslims, atheists, Christians, all these sort of things. But then there's a specific, when it comes to politics, it becomes very messy. So you've got like people that are
Politics within Muslims.
yeah, so there's one group of people that, and everyone should be suspicious of those ones that are very close to state. So they've been labeled as Madhkalis, right? A
So these are
specific
the
strand of Salafis. So Salafi in the sense of that, the Salafi movement that generally comes out of Saudi Arabia. But then there are
Isn't that,
strands.
what do you call that, Wahhabism?
Yeah, Wahhabism is a specific strand. It's not a good thing to use because Wahhab is the name of Allah, but
Okay.
let's call it Saudi Salafism. But then within that, there are sub-strains. And
Okay.
one of the strain that sort of is like maybe it's overtaking everybody because of these policies of the state at the moment is what has been labeled as Madhkalism, which is attributed to one sheikh from the Salafi movement.
I just think
But
mud
he's
crabs.
mud crabs.
Yeah, when you say mud
Yeah,
crabs.
so the Madkhalis, like the reason why they've been given that, or there's an ideology, basically state support no matter what. Then like no matter what they do, and they bring their arguments and so forth, and
Do they have valid arguments?
they have some valid arguments, but the problem is then like the arguments that they're using, are they applied to the current rulers? So there's that issue as well. Then they will apply, that group specifically, or those people that are very pro their state, whether it be UAE or Saudi, so they will use the word Khawaarij, which is a specific sect that existed historically, but Khawaarij rebelled against they're the rebels. So you guys are asking for people to make khuruj, which is rebellion against the ruler, right? So
You know what? I don't see rebellion as a bad thing.
yeah, I mean there are points in
Islamically,
history
is that
which we honor the people who participated in standing
Okay,
against
alhamdulillah.
things like Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu anh, the Prophet's grandson. That's like the classical example, and there are others as well.
Can you elaborate on that? Because we're talking about that today, and some of the stuff you said, like, it was news to me as well. The way you put it,
it's a huge thing, and usually khutbahs are given in Muharram about it. Not that it's required, but it's one of probably the most tragic event of Islamic history. After the Prophet ﷺ passing away,
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
is that people of this ummah killed the grandson of Rasulullah ﷺ in like it's supposedly people that was
Muslims.
supposedly right by name and everything else. So now like they have the hands of the family of Rasulullah ﷺ in their blood.
Sallallahu
And this is something that's a, like the hallmark of the Shia. So then now what's happened is like, so the Khawarij were like a group that, so we're getting off so they're accusing of, and they rebelled against Ali radiallahu anh and so forth. And and Muawiyah radiallahu anhu as well. And
Oh, really?
so now,
Both of them?
they said they should kill all of them. We should kill all these. Muawiyah, Ali, and Abu Nas. They succeed in killing Ali radiallahu anhu, right? Assassinating him. So the solution was that, well, since all these guys disagree, according to them, then we just kill all of them. That was their solution. So it's like pressing the reset button. They have a very so now this accusation is laid against those who are critiquing the Madkhali types who are very pro-state or certain states. Now, those ones that are accused of being Khawaarij, now they're accused also of that Hamas is taking aid from Houthis and comfort from Houthis and who's the other one? From Iran. Hezbollah and all these proxies of Iran. They're getting in bed with Iran, and hence, they said, nobody's helping us except for Iran, according to them. And so for political purposes,
do you think
is
Iran actually helping? That's a different topic, actually. Finish this.
Yeah, I mean, the Hamas themselves have said that, because they are They are. Yeah, so if they've said it, then, they expressed it in words and speeches and so forth. So now you've got a dilemma that where the Hamas, Muslims of Gaza are Sunnis, right? And very strong Sunnis, mashallah, and Muslims, very strong Muslims. And they are being helped and they've been stifled by Sunnis from other angles who are trying to normalize relation with Israel and all these sort of things. So now, anybody that critiques, said, we should work with the Iranians against these Western imperialism. That has been misconstrued as, you are like a hidden Shia. So Daniel Haqiqa Jew and others like that, he goes, they've been like this. This is like a slander that's used sort of like the Madkhali types. So it's sort of like it's a mess. Like we're in a mess. Like it's online at least. Online, it's a mess.
But if it's online, isn't it in homes?
It's not nice when you see your favorites attacking each other, Yeah, so it's not nice, and this goes on defensive, then offensive, and right. Like I said, look, this is for political purposes.
Yep.
And this is for the ultimate benefit of the Palestinians. And so it's not about we accepting the Shia Aqidah or doctrine like that. Yeah, we get it. There's a risk of that, but here's a life and death situation of Muslims. So what you are proposing is that we capitulate and we dissolve and we disappear. So you don't care about our Sunnis. You only care about it because it upsets you that, and people, the argument, it's very strange when these incidents like this happen, people are resurrecting, books of imams said, no, there are historical precedents already of making alliances with supposedly sects and groups that are not, they have proper doctrine, proper Islamic belief. For certain necessity, you are forced to in a situation that to make alliances and, to take a softer tone because to save you from the greater harm. It's like the less of two evils.
Isn't they say that more or less coming close to the day of judgment, like a Muslim army and a Christian army will join together to fight another Christian army.
Yeah, Mahdi alayhi salam, that's in the future, that his time, that there will be Muslim. I mean, these are alliances are a constant process, and what we're not allowed is to make alliances with kuffar. The problem with Iran is not just about Iran, it's about Syria, because Iran supports Syria, and Syria, they kill the Sunnis. Right. Do you understand the rebellion that was since now? The brutality of
the Assad guys.
Assad, and because Iran supports it, so it's a messy thing that you have to make an alliance where Hamas previously condemned Syrians, Iranians for what they did in with Syrian Sunnis, who rebelled. Now he's stuck with them, in terms of taking support from them.
Such a strange.
And the Houthis and the Hezbollah are, although they are indigenous to the land they're in. But they are backed by Iran. And that's why you see the constant Israeli airstrikes in Syria, because that's the conduit between Iran and in between, between. Yeah. So
that's where everything's coming from.
Yeah. So they have a lot of people trained in strategy and so forth, and they're closing the ring around the, this must be very hard for the Gulf countries to, they've been encircled, right, basically. So their only help is to go and make friends with America and Israel. That's actually their only lifeline left.
To keep their political power or their kingships.
Yeah. So they're stuck in a very, they're stuck. And so
the closer they're getting to these guys, the more respect they're losing, the more honor they're losing, the more anger is coming within the public.
Yeah. It's almost like
it's at boiling point. It's just under that surface before, the pressure cooker goes off.
Yeah, I mean, and when you see the Hindutva, a BJP politician in Hisari come up. Now people are saying, well, Islamically, yeah, non-Muslims are allowed to come. Well, it says Christians, but in books, but that kuffar can. But when was the last time that a mushrik, right, idolater, right, a mushrik were brought into the peninsula?
Wow.
And given honors,
and,
right?
And a very open and pro idol worship.
Hindutva and but also like a very specific ideology that's anti-Muslim as well.
Yes.
And a party that has been known
extremely anti-Muslim.
Yeah.
Known to slaughter Muslims.
Yeah. Well, you cannot say the party, but their supporters,
No,
they turn a blind eye and so forth too. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's not the party. There are people in the party, like they say the crazy things. So, like when you have like what's going on, people argue, what's wrong with non-Muslims going to Medina and so forth. Well, this is a little bit different to what fiqh books mention about a non-Muslim coming for business or sending a messenger from another king because that was the capital of the Muslims, and there's examples given on that. Yeah, Masjid al-Haram is specific, but you're sort of like...
This is tourism.
You could have taken them somewhere else. And they're doing selfies to show back, and look, what...
Look where we've reached.
Yeah.
The doorstep of his grave.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's serving a different purpose to messenger or necessity, and they were not allowed to stay in there for more than 3 days. So even that non-Muslims coming to Medina is limited. I don't know the whole details, but briefly what I've read is there is some leeway. But historically, Mushrikeen, after the first century of Islam, the first generation even, did they really have a foothold or even came into contact? I guess maybe some, maybe captured or so forth, maybe prisoners were brought into Medina. The Majusi, the fire worshipper, what's his name? Killed Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. Assassin, he was a slave of one of the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. So I guess maybe they did come and live, but it's not in the way. Maybe this is maybe like this is a precedent.
This is red carpet.
Yeah, this is like a precedent. So that's probably why we have a reaction to something that's probably not happened in Islamic history. Like it is a new thing, but then you have to go back and check. Well, non-Muslims so what is this? Is this to win them over with kindness?
What's the purpose of it though? What is the purpose?
Maybe kindness, like extreme kindness, a lot of kindness. Show them a lot of kindness. I don't know. Yeah,
I'm going to keep my mouth shut on this one.
Huh?
The words that come out of my mouth will be choice words. So
yeah, I mean specifically,
you'll have to edit it out. My rant.
No, don't.
Let's not go.
Yeah, let's leave. We don't need to waste time. But it's sort of like, I mean, when you see the
400 kilometers
the
away.
influencer just walking through Medina.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. Like it's like, you're all the ladies that are there for. They're coming to visit the masjid and visit Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and so forth. It's just got like this, blonde. I remember because I was there, I saw it, blonde.
Protect your eyes, Sheikh.
Oh, you can't miss it. It's like in the middle of the market, just walking, just all brown people and just white lady just walks through the middle of it like that, and you can see everyone. She comes to have a meal, takes a few photos, don't even finish the food, and
oh wow,
and it's like she's got all the GoPro and all this things set up and. It was kind of weird, they just touch a little bit. They're just doing for the photos.
I saw a lot of that in Singapore.
What?
There's recently I was overseas, Singapore and Malaysia. There's a place where was it? It was Singapore. So it's like this tunnel thing where it's got walls, got flowers or whatever, and the place is full of K-pop, right? Guys doing videos, girls doing videos, and apparently it's like the most famous. Place where they come to do these videos. The crazy thing about this place was, if you just look at the video, someone's holding a camera up, it looks like they're completely by themselves in this amazing place. Just out of camera shot are about, 50 others doing exactly the same.
Yeah. What is it to do with the speed of the internet there or that specific spot?
No, it's that spot because there's just all these flowers on the walls. It's just made nice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a good camera shot.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do the podcast from there.
No, I can't do it in public.
No?
I've done vlogs before, for my channel. You can't do
it in public?
I can't do it in public. And I've done a vlog before, on Ghar Hira. And, I've done there, but it's there's 50 people looking at you just so self-conscious. You're doing something public, which is a bit weird.
Bro, I wanted to start.
You got to switch off from everybody, which you have to do, and focus on your audience and then and not be aware of the moment that you're, because I'm so present in the moment that I can't like,
Allahu
with the
Akbar.
people around me.
On the fourth sky, walking through the clouds.
yeah,
with his,
yeah.
the
I'm
level
so
of
I'm
his
so
dhikr.
moment present.
Ya
But
Allah.
yeah.
Oh, is this when you were the leader of the Hajj tour group, guy?
no, I went with one brother. We just went up, just walked up to the Ghar Hira, and it's, on, it's there on my channel.
Our mate?
No, you don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the one that comments in the video, okay, it's a good views, and he goes, yeah, it's a cracker. You know, that's never said on Jabal Noor before. The other one was I was trying to do another vlog in front of Masjid Nabawi, and police like they took like
Oh yeah,
I got in trouble with the police, and you know, said
but now they're doing it
no,
themselves.
you know what they said? He goes, you're here to do ibadah. I think I mentioned this before. He goes, you're here to do ibadah. I said, yeah, you're right. Like I'm not here to do vlogs. Yeah, it was like almost getting.
But I'm an alim.
Yeah, I got scolded. I got scolded by the police, and they go, yeah, you're right.
Bro,
like,
one thing I have to say, speaking of police, the police that are in the Haram and in Masjid Nabawi, their face, the nur on their faces is ridiculous.
Really?
Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't noticed it.
Bro, I'm looking at
I've seen the opposite.
No. What I saw, the one guy I will never
Mashallah.
forget that sits next to the black stone on the Kaaba. That
There's
little
good people
thing,
and bad people
and
everywhere.
he's just he doesn't even have to shout at people like other guys do. He just
Yeah.
looks at him and just goes, just head movements, and people are just following what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right? And then
Obviously, there's good people, you know, mashallah. As Haramain.
unless it could have been you didn't see that nur because they were affected by my nur.
Yeah. Nah.
No, okay, thanks, bro. But my point is this: all of this is happening, and then we have this idol worshippers. Do you know Dubai is building the biggest? It's going to open this month, the biggest Hindu temple in the world.
Yeah, and that's my problem with the people saying from Medina, this person going is because this is part of a broader trend
Yeah,
of bringing shirk into the Jazeera, the peninsula of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And there was like a, you know, for the Mushrikeen, they were given an ultimatum, 4 months, basically, 4 months there to become Muslim and, like, or leave. Basically, the Arabian Peninsula was cleared from all shirk. So now, like, a land that is establishing a building of shirk, like
The world's biggest building, by the way.
yeah, that's crazy.
And I've seen comments
Yeah,
from Hindus, and they're like, "Why don't we have this in India?" That's how much it's even owing them.
yeah.
Like they're saying,
And who's paying for it?
Both of them. They're saying everyone.
Like-
Apparently, it's just solid gold idols,
Astaghfirullah.
right? And guys from India are saying, "Why do we not have something like this in India?"
Yeah,
About their biggest temples.
like they're getting FOMO.
They've got
They're
toilets.
getting they're getting like
yeah, FOMO.
Yeah, you wonder like we want khair for everybody and all Muslims, and as a Muslim by nature, inshallah, we hope to have good for everybody.
I mean,
But some things are being done. You wish the oil is switched off. Like sometimes you wonder,
What
like,
a test.
is it that they are? I mean, it is mainly supposed to be the wealth of the Muslims, what comes out of the ground, zakat, and so forth. But anyway, let's leave that aside. But sometimes the feeling comes that maybe this is not good for you. Like you guys are
before the discovery
like you're
of
not,
oil or something.
Yeah. Like I don't think you're supposed to be paying for Shakira concerts with this sort of stuff and building things for that. Or, and as much as successful or people praise the FIFA World Cup, maybe you're not supposed to spend $200 billion on a
soccer game.
on men running around kicking inflated ball of leather. Like I don't think that's what that money was given. Like, I get it. There's business interests and so forth, whatever. But like,
But it is the people's money, isn't it? Because it's coming out of that land. It is not the money.
Discretion is given to the ruler on certain matters, but ultimately it's not there to buy your.
It's not a personal.
It's not
wealth.
$1 billion yacht. Should not be coming out of the state expenditure for like you're not supposed to have a floating palace, right? Which probably costs like how many millions of dollars to
Wow.
keep it running.
Hundreds.
To just run it every year.
Oh, running it every year.
Yeah.
Like
So
20 million.
I think like there would have to be in the because they're multi-generational monarchy, like they're born into super wealth. So they're totally disconnected from the realities of the average person, number one. Number two, they wouldn't would they be groomed not to know like the real teachings of Islam, except for very superficial things? Because if they really knew what Rasulullah was saying about wealth and the fiqh book, like do they study any fiqh books? Like that tells you
Don't
how
they all study in the
wealth is
UK
supposed to
and
be
US?
distributed,
Yeah,
what the right of the ruler is, like would they even go to? I'm saying like you're a ruler, you're given certain responsibility. You have certain responsibility in Islam. You have certain things to make sure that are done as a rule of Muslims, not the rule of, and that's probably
Yeah, but
that's what part of the
you're never taught, how are you going to know?
yeah, and exactly, and like you don't have a concept of that I am a Muslim ruler and I'm supposed to have some sort of pan-Islamic across the world thought, you know?
Well, MBS's nanny was Jewish.
Oh, really?
He said to one of the Israeli ministers.
Well, that guy.
No.
He talks about it, but
Yeah, he said he said that
he's quoting him. But is it really true? He could be just saying it.
No, but no one came out and
Yeah,
discredited it.
Yeah,
No one came
and a
out
lot
and
of these
wasn't
guys
true.
from the rich ones, they are raised by their nannies, like
Yeah, of
Filipinos,
course they are.
and they're more
Nannies,
affinity.
and they're
with,
raised by boarding schools of the West.
yeah.
So Eton, what have you, all of these places.
They're not all. They have Prince's colleges. They actually have Prince College in Riyadh and all these.
Do they?
Yeah. They have their own for the royal family. There's own schools and tutors and whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are they learning?
Well, there are Muslims that teach in this. I was reading an article of one of the bin
this is the
Salman's
first time
teachers,
I've heard about
an Arab teacher. Yeah, they have like a princess, like an academy for
Wow.
for royalty. Yeah,
So did you get to go there as well?
yeah. My father taught in a school in Switzerland where King Jong Un.
Kim Jong-il.
Yeah, Jong Un.
Yeah.
He went there to the same school in Switzerland. It's like
Well,
a
your dad
private-
was teaching there.
He went there to tutor or
That
something, Arabic or
explains a lot
something.
about you, bro.
Yeah, so it's
It's so random.
Yeah. In Switzerland, there's like this private colony. He had to go there for something and teach there when he was in Bern. He was imam there. But
Yeah, it always trips me out thinking about your dad being in Switzerland and then going to Brazil from there. It's just
no, he went.
random.
It was in Brazil first, then came to Switzerland.
so
we
after
lived
you
in
were born.
Switzerland. Yeah, we lived in Switzerland for
So
a
you
year.
live in Switzerland.
Yeah.
How was it?
Bern, yeah, I just remember snow, chocolate, and I remember.
much chocolate?
I remember the in the city center there was like a massive, like just part of the roundabout. It's like a thing in the ground, like a hole in the ground with bears in it.
What?
Yeah, that's like a
Real
national
life
symbol.
bears?
Yeah, because if you see the Toblerone, like that is perfectly symbolizes the logo. You know the logo of
Yeah, but are you saying that roundabout, whatever it was, had real life
a bear. Like it was like a site thing, like a hole. It was a hole with a
in the city?
in the city. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll show you the. I might put the picture up.
Not might. If you're going to do it, you got to do it.
Yeah, all right. Just search Burn.
Burn bear.
Yeah, bear pit. Burn bear pit.
How are activists allowing
It's
that?
like a zoo, maybe. Huh?
Okay. You got to put that up.
Huh?
You got to put that up now that we've looked at it.
Okay. I can't put the.
So anyway, I saw that thing that you sent out today, Mufti Tariq Masood.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's so random. Okay.
Yeah. It's like people just. Yeah. It's a bear pit.
Okay.
There you go. Something to do, Yeah, so Mufti Tariq Masood is coming, inshallah. He's here in Melbourne.
He's arrived.
So
He arrived this
today's
afternoon.
the 13th, or what is it? The 10th of January. And he's got programs here, and maybe he has programs in other cities as well, but those are not confirmed. But alhamdulillah, he's got a program, 3 public programs here.
He's going to come out by then.
And in the poster, the brother Salim, he said to me, You're a
got
Maulana,
played.
you're a Sheikh.
played.
Yeah, I played hard. He goes, put your name first. It's not respectful that my name is above it. I said, okay, whatever, man. So I put my name up, and then, but anybody who's going to call the poster, they're going to call the first. I'm getting sick of all the calls. It's basically Pakistanis. Is it free? Is it free, the event?
yeah.
That's the first question they ask. And I think they're surprised that he's really here. I say, yeah, he's here already. And so, mashallah, he'll have his program, but he's like coming from Japan.
So what's the other question? Is it free? What else we got?
Oh, there's a place for women, because generally
mashallah.
Muslim Pakistani women don't usually go to the masjid. Usually don't. And yeah.
Let's not start women going to the masjid.
No, not talking about that. But usually
Let's
they don't,
not go
because it's
there.
not really a common feature in our culture. But they asked us 2 questions, and yeah, mashallah. So he's got 3 programs here. They're open-ended. There's no specific topics chosen at the moment.
It's amazing that somebody can just step off a plane or a poster's been sent out and such a massive reaction happens.
Yeah.
You're going to have like 10,000.
He's got like 4 million, whatever.
4.5.
4.5 million followers on YouTube.
Like us, basically.
And he's, we're up there. We're rubbing shoulders with the big guys. And mashallah, it's not the quality, it's not the quantity, it's the quality.
Wow.
You are quality
You
viewer.
need to stop editing me out then.
Yeah. He, mashallah, he's, you know what it is about maybe why we like him? He's as a hafiz, alim, mufti, teacher, who writes fatwas, who teaches, and Juma khutbah, leads salat, hafiz al-Quran, mashallah. And then he's been giving speeches since 2007, initially in audio, then video. I think what, mashallah, Allah protect him, give him good health, long life.
Ameen.
But something unique about him, and unfortunately, because the programs are all in Urdu, there's no programs in general in other languages, as far as I know.
Can we get them and put subtitles under them?
Yeah, I mean, if you do any recording, maybe we should put subtitles for Melbourne, but for English speakers. But something about just to share regarding Mufti Saab's like range of topics. He really, really talks about. You'll find that a lot of what's I don't know if it's good to call it like compassionate imams who have large platform, but they refuse to talk on real social, like the underbelly of
compassionate or politically correct.
Yeah, politically correct. But the word that's thrown around is compassionate, where they don't.
That's just a nice way of saying politically correct. Or that's
politically correct. Well,
Let's
it's
say
not just politics, but they will never tell the hardline stuff.
Yeah, politically correct. That's
politically
my take
correct has a certain connotation, not to do with religion, Islam. We're talking about specifically.
I'm talking about from an Islamic point of view, politically correct. So
you made it 4 words, and I made it 2. So compassionate imams.
Sorry, but
so the point is that they don't talk about the hard hitting subjects that really do affect, and because you don't want to turn people off, and you don't want, and you have to be telling people off. Like if you're I was listening to one of his talks the other day. The idea that a man goes for a wedding, like a proposal, and he says to the because he's famous for one specific topic more than others, which is polygamy, like marrying more than one wife. He encourages it because in Pakistan, specifically his community, there are more women than men. Because
everywhere in the world,
but he explains it in an interesting way. He goes, it's actually worse for the woman that the man can't marry more than one, and he explains it why. Because especially, he said, so what's happened is like people cry when they have daughters.
That's sad.
Right? It's almost like Jahiliyyah. They cry when they have a daughter. Many people there, like he's literally people, he's explaining his speech that because they cry, the reason why they cry, sometimes people like they say no to certain things without realizing the full repercussions, societal, communal, because we're very individualistic, so we don't think of community level, the effect of.
How many single women with kids are in Melbourne?
Yeah, or he's talking about like in Pakistan, it's somewhere between 1 million, 2 million, not single mothers, single, they've never been married. Some ridiculous amount. The number's like huge. Like, so he's talking about societal ills on a mass scale, because you're talking about a country of more than 200 million, right? 240 million, whatever it is. So you're talking about a mass zina being done. And he basically says there's 2 solutions Sharia's given. It's marry early and make it normalized marrying more than one. He explains interesting how it's better for women, right?
Here we go. You're going to get slaughtered. Go.
No. I'm not. I'm explaining what Mufti Saab is saying, but his arguments are logical, and he's saying that the reason why I'm not saying this is for Australia. I don't know Australia how many men and women there are and so forth, but he's explaining about that society. He said 80% of our social ills will be gone if people married young. Like we didn't put so many hurdles, make it difficult to get married, and number 2. That they're allowed to marry more. And the reason was for women why it's better. He said what's happening is guys are calling the shots. So imagine if there's an increase of ladies, he gets a pick. So it's way above his level, right?
Yeah, okay.
Right, number 1. Number 2, he said this is need of the women, not the need of the men. Right?
Most men would disagree with that though.
Huh?
Most men would disagree.
No. He said this is not about. I'm not telling you this is a solution as just about satisfying your lusts.
Okay.
Right? Not that whatever. If it's done a halal way, it's perfectly halal. But he's explaining actually is a bigger concern here, societal concern, that we've made it abnormal to the point, and maybe we're influenced by Hindus or Western culture and so forth. Those 2 cultures are anti-polygamy generally. Polygamy is read the dictionary, mate.
Really?
Yeah, that's the proper word actually. Yeah. So
interesting.
Marrying more than one is polygamy. Polygamy is like bigamy. You understand? Go read it anyway.
Okay, interesting.
So he says the argument that he gives is that if the lady, like let's say he goes, you're put in this condition that I have to marry a boy that is never married. This boy is not proven himself generally. He's what they're doing is it was he mentioned a few days. This is just recently a lady that like she was ready to be second wife. The guy asked, and then he goes, my brother-in-law was dealing with it, and he brought up the issue. He goes like, who's going to buy the mitai, the sweets, for the marriage, right? Like her or him. Now, in many cultures, it is actually like shameful that, like in my culture, it's absolutely shameful that the lady's family will do anything. The whole burden, everything is on the man's family.
Alhamdulillah.
All right? Like these customs like jahiz.
You're talking about your Patan culture in the mountains.
Yeah.
Not general
Yeah,
culture.
like the manly culture, not like Hyderabad and
No, well, yeah.
jahiz and jahiz, yeah. You got to
100%.
buy a scooter for the guy
Scooter, what, and the rest.
and fill the whole house with furniture for the guy, not that he has to show that he's responsible.
You got to give the guy, like, people are giving the guy outfits.
Yeah, he said
worth hundreds of thousands of rupees. Just the outfit for the wedding.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just sorry.
keep going.
I don't know what Hyderabad had to do it, but
You're
in the
gonna
big
get
cities,
slaughtered by the Hyderabadis in
the
Melbourne
biggest it's Karachi, the same thing. Lahore, all the big cities. I think the farm areas maybe it's easy because of from farming areas. Maybe that's why. But anyway, let's put that aside. So he said that if a lady, if you have a good men who are able to take responsibility for multiple wives, they can actually they're good men. They're respectable. They are not doing things hidden like from one wife or this sort of. They're doing it properly according to the Quran and Sunnah. Isn't he a better option than a man who comes to the table with nothing and demands things from his future father-in-law? And that's what they're doing because he gave an example. A guy's deciding whether to go Hajj or to pay for his daughter's marriage.
Wow.
And if he doesn't do that, if he doesn't actually put up, like the guy's supposed to pay mahar. But this it's jahiz, like it's a thing that like
dowry.
It's like almost like
from the
the dowry is still there, but it's like nominal. It's like something small from the man's side, but really what the main expense that's coming, and it's perfectly permissible if a father wants to set up his daughter comfortably and so forth. But I think that's fine. But the thing is that it's put as condition that I will marry your daughter. I need a new car. I mean, these are extreme levels, right? Or a scooter, and I'll have all the furniture set for the house. Is this a better option for the daughter, or she marries a man, even if she's second wife, and he treats them both equally? He does all the Shari'i requirements. Then, because what happens is the standard, the quality of men in the market, there's a more bigger pool. No, increases. The quality of men increases. Yeah, instead, you don't have to. The first guy that comes along and says yes, or like he wants to marry, but then he puts
appease him.
Yeah, then you got to appease him. Instead of you can go your Hajj, and you don't have to worry about forking out a huge amount of money. So he gives his arguments and so forth. So he's famous for this, like identifying.
And how does the general Pakistani public react?
Different people will react differently. Obviously, the feminists probably won't like it. But he's saying like, well, if you have another solution, I'm telling you what the Quran Sunnah is. This is a solution. If you have another solution, bring it forth and solve these ladies' problem. Yeah. So so that's like, and he talks about hard hitting issues. So he talks about all the targheeb things, the fada'il things, the reward things, but he also forbids the evil in a strong way and so forth.
It's not just all peace and love.
Yeah, like there's wrong things that happen and you have to correct those social ills and community ills and wrong things that are doing. And he, hopefully we get a chance to talk to him about this as well. But in terms of, what do you call it? Debating, like he has gone into debates, confronted certain people. Yeah. It's not really his expertise. Debating is not his expertise, apologetics. But at the same time, like he has gone into that, like he's a very all-rounded, like
high caliber,
mashallah. And everything he researches and is backed up. And you look at it when he speaks and so forth, even though he might not be, you go back to the Quran Hadith and look at that issue and you find that, okay, this is his fiqh is based. Yeah. And he's not masoom. He's not divinely protected. He can make mistakes. But I don't listen to him. But I only listen to him because he's coming here. So I said, I'm organizing the programs for him. So inshallah. And so I said,
You're receiving the phone calls for him?
Yeah, I'm receiving the phone calls. And I did a one poster and spread it. And that there's another brother's actually doing all the hosting and everything. But like to like his range is much broader than many of the English speakers, well-known speakers that we have, who seem to fall in two extremes. One just criticizes all the time, like that's all they're doing attacks, and then the other ones are just like it's a La La Land and like it's all
Kumbaya by the fireside.
Yeah, it's a lot of kumbaya sort of type stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like a very good mixture, I find, and a very balanced, like a mufti and alim and scholar. And he doesn't write off anybody. Like he's positive to the point of that he'll take benefit from a vast interest, like people that are in very different fields. Because I always speak to the experts of the field. If I want to speak about economics, I go speak to an economist. If I want to speak of medicine, I'll speak to a doctor. You know, so
logical.
Yeah, like I'll take mashwara and guidance from the people who are experts of their specific area. So, and you can see the broadness in his appeal, and he's entertaining, and he's got the charisma, mashallah. Yeah, and he's relaxed as well, and sense of humor, and down to earth and relatable and so forth. So, mashallah. So he's here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him, mashallah. Yeah, I mean, I like him, but I got to a point. I used to have certain people I used to listen to. I stopped listening because I prefer to read.
Okay.
Know? Yeah, I prefer to read like old ancient people than contemporary ones. But I enjoy it, and I think he's a benefit, positive force overall, that you have a traditionally trained alim who's able to connect the Quran and Sunnah as per proper understanding to the masses.
In this modern age.
Yeah, and through modern mediums, mashallah. So let's hope, inshallah, we'll make dua, inshallah, and I ask all the brothers and sisters to make dua that his program is a success, inshallah.
Ameen.
And that we get to hear from him in Melbourne, inshallah. And we'll teach him some Australian. He's very good. Like last time he asked us, me and Abdul Wajid was sitting with him, and when he came just at the start of COVID and half his programs were cancelled at the time, and he said, I want to speak English, because we speak English to each other. And
he thinks we're a write-off.
And no, but he said, because I want to speak English like you. I said, I don't think you want to. Go like, we're not an American English, we're not a British English. It's like the most obnoxious accent in the world. And I said, I'm not sure you want to speak like us. He goes, no, you guys speak like it's like he could tell straight away. He's so good with, like, he can pick out things. Like, we observe that so many times, not just on language and stuff. He could straight away tell the difference in our English and the guys from overseas.
He's
like
very sharp.
Like, just from the way they spoke and the way we speak, even though we speak in the same language. Like, he could pick up on certain things, and he really, like, an insight that I got from when we were with him, how quickly he can take a mundane thing or things that's just passing rest of us. Like, he really is a person, puts his heart and mind and really feels the right of the audience. Like, actually, like, it's not haphazard. Like, he actually thinks very deeply about things. And even something that happened a few minutes ago, you'll see him connect the dots, and then he'll produce something and just like shocked, like, how did that even happen? Like, he's very attuned to sharing experiences that people may benefit from, mashallah. And
he's genuine. That's the thing. He's very, very, very genuine. Yeah,
I listened to his talk a few days ago where he was talking about when the only reason I listened to it, he says, I nearly stopped giving speeches. Because he started when he was like 13 or 14. And he said that I nearly stopped, and because there's like 10 guys listening in the mosque. And he goes, because I couldn't see any change on these guys. Their life was not changing. Some of them grew beards. Huh? Yeah, because when I stayed in mosque, I was imam of the mosque and I was downstairs talking. He goes, these guys are nothing. But then at that time it was just audio, and like people from overseas, from Malaysia, because actually his landlord's son, who probably never gave salam to me, he said, and I lived in an apartment downstairs, and he said that because I got to go see him. He came specifically to see me. And he said that because people heard the band, because he's a tenant, basically, my tenant. And because then I got to see like how outside people value the messages, because I used to meet people in Hajj. It was my life changed because his talk that you gave. Wow. And he said that, so from around the world, Hajj, he realized, that he's onto something.
Have you ever had that?
It's a little bit, a little bit. Yeah, I did a nikah a few weeks ago.
Wait, did they come to Islam or did they go away?
I didn't change anybody's life. Allah is the only one changes.
But what I'm saying is they were still Muslim at the end of it.
Yeah,
right?
Inshallah. Yeah, Allah forgive me for. But he came last few weeks ago. I did a nikah, and the groom said, "Yeah, I'll listen to you online." Wow. And he was like, "Yeah, it was nice about it." But he was. You didn't tell me he became more pious or less pious.
If he's listening right
We
now,
don't know.
brother, start praying. Don't worry about him.
I should charge him more. Anyway, for the registration, government registration, not for the nikah. Relax. Yeah, I do nikahs for free.
Akbar.
You know.
Allahu Akbar. That's why he's got a sauna in his house.
Yeah, it doesn't work yet. It's not. I found it in the garage. A proper full built.
So are we
sauna.
going to have a sauna?
Not with you.
Am I turning up in my white
You can
towel?
come there.
No, you and me both sitting there with those leaves.
Leaves. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they do in the Scandinavian countries.
Oh, really?
The birch or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'll hit you with it.
I don't want you
then
to be.
you have to
I
run
don't want to be
out.
spanked by you.
And then you got to run out naked and jump in the snow.
Me too, Mohammed. Astaghfirullahalazim. The Weinstein of podcasts. Astaghfirullahalazim.
Oh, that was.
Yeah.
Do we go there right now?
Well, Epstein list. Is that what you're talking about?
What the hell?
What?
Yeah, the list, man. Or do we end up on a?
Let's. Yeah, I don't think after.
You and me in a jacuzzi.
I don't. I think we're dirtying the palate after speaking nice words about Mufti Sahib. But
What, you and me in the jacuzzi wasn't dirtying the palate?
Yeah. Look, there are bad people in the world. There's evil people in the world. We have to protect our women. We have to protect our children. We have to protect the
well,
innocent.
protect
And someone said something scary. There's an Epstein for every part of the world. There's an Epstein for the Middle East and Europe that are
that's
curating, astaghfirullahalazim, extreme abuse for the ultra wealthy who feel like they can get away with it. The fact that a guy for a decade has a private jet and his source of money cannot be explained. How many people that are there, how many names that are there. There's 200 on that list. And of course, they're squirming at the moment. But former Israeli prime ministers, US presidents, etc., etc. It's a sick world because when Iman is not there, and you don't believe in akhirah and there's no consequence, so you're going to maximize your supposed all the thrills and benefits, enjoyments of this world.
Giving these guys a long life to maximize that.
Yeah. Like there are sick people in the world. There are sick people and there are victims of those sick people as well. Allah deal with them. If Allah's not written hidayah for them, Allah destroy them and expose them and humiliate them. But these rings and so forth exist. There's doctors involved in it. There's we know that pedophile rings in Australia that they busted, and there's like judges in it. There's medical doctors, and so it's crazy. So a person should be extra vigilant, from these people. Like that's what's the takeaway is that there are bad people in the world, and we have to be vigilant against them, and we don't take it. We don't let our guard down. Wallah alam. Doesn't matter where it is. Yeah. Even in masjid as well. Like I say to parents, some parents are very ghafil in events in masjids. I said, this is a public space. Good people, angels come here and shayateen also come here. I said, you're responsible for your children when you're here. This isn't Taraweeh, I'm talking about Ramadan. I said, the idea that you come here and very little kids, you let them off the leash and you let them run around, go in the car park and you don't, do not. I hope you understand. Like I emphasize it to them. I said, do not let your guard down, even here as well. And Shaitan has more damage that he wants to cause in the masjid. So therefore, even in quote unquote Islamic organizations, Islamic institutions, and so forth, there you should be extra vigilant because Shaitan is going to make that a target. And those people in it. So don't.
But you're not pointing fingers at anyone or saying anything.
No, the world that we live in is not. There are bad people, and we don't know who. This thing is such a hidden thing, and it's so bad that it's an ugly and nasty thing, but it exists. Therefore, we have to take all the precautions. Umar ibn Khattab was very particular about, from what I heard when I read long time ago, that who interacts with the children of the Muslims of Madina Munawwara. Wow. Like he was very particular about who's coming in and out of Madina Munawwara. So I can't remember where I read it, but top of my head, don't hold against me. But we know that his care of the ummah was so much, from head to toe. His only concern was the benefit of the ummah and who comes in and out. Right, the environment Medina was pure and was kept pure. So people should be, especially those in responsibility, and parents are responsible. They have to, like some parents they train their kids really well. Like if somebody puts in their lap, immediately you have to tell me because they do gradually these abusers. So he said straight away, you have to inform me. You have to parents, they know this stuff. that are intelligent, and they it's an ugly thing. You don't want to think about it, but you have to think about it in the world that we live in. Unfortunately, you have to think about it. Back to I don't want to finish off with that, but Mufti Saab, mashallah, he said that about people not listening, people not in his local mosque. I remember one example from India, the place where they
wait, you got to go back. You just lost me. Where you went bang from one to the next.
Yeah, I'm going back to it because I don't want to talk about it anymore because it's not nice.
No, which story were you talking about from Mufti Saab?
No, Mufti Saab about
the
people from the other side of the world in Hajj meeting and so forth. Okay. So there's an example in India. I was in India and this brother gave an example of they make silk shawls. He said in our village, he goes, like the mops are made out of silk, the towels are made out, everything's made out of silk. He said, he goes, the things that you wipe on your kitchen benches, it's called banana silk. He said it's made out of all this. He said that when he goes to the main city in their state, its price goes up like multiple fold. When he goes to Delhi, the capital, it goes so much. When the Prime Minister of India gives it as a gift and puts it around, he goes, that's like, the top of the range, like the most, it's so expensive. So he said that the further you are away, right, from the source, its value is more. And there's a saying in Urdu,
breeds contempt.
Yeah, and gar ki murgi dal barabar. Yeah, this is the Urdu saying. The chicken, the home cooked chicken, is equal to adas dal. Lentils. So lentils, like in a restaurant, taste better than a roast chicken that's at home. Do you understand? So like it's you don't appreciate what you've got in your own backyard or at home.
It's because you're having chicken all the time. I think that's what he's trying to say, not the restaurant thing.
Oh, I'm just trying to,
You're just trying to make it sound like you just stuffed it.
No.
No, I'm just having a go at you. I'm just waiting for that
I understood that metaphor properly, but anyway.
Yes, but you didn't explain it properly.
Inshallah. Next week's podcast, tune in.
Inshallah.
We'll have a surprise, hopefully, inshallah, for you.
Let's find out.
Or we'll be very sad and crying for an
I
hour
won't be crying.
and disappointed.
Thank you for watching.
Inshallah.
Please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. And don't stop making dua for the Muslims around the world, especially Palestine. Can I say free Palestine?
Inshallah. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.